I'm all about violating the rules. You see what it says here, and we're taking a picture anyway. Hi there, everybody. Chris Beytes from GrowerTalks and Green Profit again, and I am in the booth of Burgon Ball. No relation to Ball Seed, but we're looking at, check this out, this beautiful little home allotment, as it's called. This beautiful woven basket that you could put a small vegetable garden in. In England, a home allotment is like your home vegetable garden. Allotments are what they call the community garden plot that so many Brits get. And I'm here with Heather Culpin from Burgon Ball, and she actually has the actual accent.
Oh, well, now you've put me on the spot.
She is from England. But what Burgon Ball has is some of the coolest garden tools and accessories that I think I've ever seen. These are authentic kinds of things that Brits use out in their veggie gardens, right?
Absolutely, and we are just mad for tools in England. We want to have everything, the right tool for the right job, and it's amazing how many jobs there are.
Yeah, and veggie gardens is very big in England right now. It's very trendy.
It is, and I think virtually everybody's growing something, and they're doing it because it makes them feel good, it tastes delicious, they know where it's come from, they know what's got into it, it's got low food miles. So, in fact, there's a whole new raft, millions of new gardeners coming into garden centres who've never been there before. So it's a great time for gardening in the UK.
Well, as you say over there, brilliant. But show us what some of these things are. For instance, this looks like a bamboo steamer at first.
Well, I'm not sure what we call it, a riddle. But I don't know whether that's a term that's used in America or whether you'd call it a sieve. But this is what you put your potting compost in, and there's probably another word that you don't use, potting compost. And so when you're planting up your seed tray, just sprinkle a little on the top so you get a very fine layer of compost so that the seeds find it easy to grow through.
I got you, a little sieve bottom there. And of course, everybody has to have their leaf composting sack.
Yes, and so gather all the leaves up, put them in the sack, put it away at the bottom of the garden for a couple of years, and then you come back and you've got a fabulous pile of leaf mould. It's nutritious for the garden, perfect.
Beautiful. And this one I actually, I understand, the Eco Pot Maker. And here's the actual little device right here. A series of wooden presses to make these beautiful little newspaper pots. And this is definitely old school, right, Heather?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime supply of pots. All you need is free newspapers, and you'll never ever need to buy another plastic pot. And the great thing is, you just put it in the ground, and the water, the natural rain or whatever you're watering with, will dissolve the newspaper in due course. So you don't need to take it out, remove it. The whole thing biodegrades.
Would you recommend a particular paper, the London Times, or?
I think the Telegraph. Yes, the Telegraph.
And of course, you have to have a toolbox to carry all of your interesting British tools to the allotment, and so they've got the Day at the Allotment Tool and Tuck box. Tuck meaning?
Goodies, yeah. No, well, it's really probably sweets, biscuits. Yeah, it's what we used to have at school. If you were sent away to boarding school, you'd have a tuck box. Your parents would send you back with a tuck box so that it would keep you going throughout the term.
Very cool. Now, if you're going to put any of this in your garden center, I recommend you hire a Brit to help sell it because, well, first you can raise the price by about 50%, and it just makes all this stuff sound even cooler than it already is. That's Burgon Ball. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
If I had some chalk, I could write something like, read Green Profit magazine right here, because this is a chalkboard. And one thing we noted while walking the show is that chalkboards seem to be pretty in right now. We've seen some signage done with chalkboards, and these are some, pots covers with chalkboard built into it that you could drop a couple of potted plants into, or pretty much anything. We've got some different sizes, and actually we're at Avery Imports right now. I like this one. Chalkboard up here and some interesting little clothespins here. They suggested maybe you could put some seed packets here and right up here. These are the things we're going to pot this week, or who knows what you might do with that. And check this one around here. This is a lot of fun. Excuse me, folks. Here's a little wooden table with drawers that have chalkboard fronts on them. You could do something like onions, potatoes, and garlic in the kitchen, or maybe Chris's shoes, Ellen's shoes, and Jennifer's shoes, or something like that. So just a few fun ideas for what you can do with chalkboard paint around your garden center or your customers' homes. Now, Ellen, are you finding anything cool and trendy out there?
Hey Chris, I did find something really cool and I think you'll be interested in it. When I am picking apples or fruit from a tree, I usually am on a ladder. I've got my shirt like this. I'm trying to put them, in the shirt and hold it, and I fall off the ladder. Anyway, so The folks at Planto have come up with this really cool, it looks like an apron, but it's actually a professional professional fruit picking apron. And Freddie here's going to tell me a little bit more about it. Tell me more about this.
Yes, we came up with this bag because, you know, it's very unsafe to pick apples from trees. You climb up, you have one hand for the ladder and one hand for the fruit, but this is not really safe. So we thought you need something where you have your hands free. With this bag, you see you have this really, really spacious pocket here, nice opening. You're on the ladder, you have one hand for the ladder, and you pick your fruit. These are my apples, the ones I have at the show. Yeah, and I pick them in here. You see the opening will always stay wide. And once I'm done picking, I have enough. I open these buckles. And then you don't want to handle your fruit too much because the fruit might get bruised. So now you can let the fruit roll out in a very controlled manner. Yeah. All right. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Just for demonstration. And you can go on and pick more fruit as you want. Of course, this bag doubles not only as a fruit picking bag, you can put clippings if you're out in the garden and have plants you want to prune. Everything in here. Yeah.
And it's durable and made out of nice canvas.
Natural materials, natural colors. All materials are tested for harmful chemicals, so there's nothing bad inside. That's very important.
So it's the pick of the fruit pickers.
Exactly. Yes, yes. And also I want to mention that there is a nice padding in the back. So,
look at that. Oh,
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So even if you load it, yeah, it's nice thick. It doesn't really hurt on your neck. Yeah, you really can load it.
Great idea. That is the professional fruit picker's apron from Planto.
I can officially say I have found the coolest, trendiest booth at the IGC show. I am at the booth of Esschert Company, which is a Dutch company. Their U.S. office is in Maryland. But what makes them so trendy? Yes, folks, the frog prints. Frogs with crowns. They've got them right here. There's Ellen Wells right behind us. She knows how cool these are. Look at the selection of frogs with crowns they've got there. They've even got these cool hose guides and garden stakes. I'm going to bring back a whole boatload of them to my garden. So get yours early. If you want to be a cool, trendy garden center, get your frogs with crowns. And I'm not kidding either, folks. The last time I was at the German IPM show in Essen, all over the place. The Germans know, the Dutch know, now the Americans know. Frogs with crowns. Oh, look what else I found at the Esschert stand. Fun watering cans. Who thought of it? Hippopotamus, a dachshund, a ducky, and yes, folks, again, reinforcing the trendiness of the whole genre. The frog, in this case, frog princess, her beau, the frog prince, and if pink is your color, and of course it's my color, the frog prince in pink. Yes, princes with frogs, frogs with princes, frogs with crowns, whatever. They're cool. Taking you home.
Hey folks, look who I see. It's Shannon Molde, Garden Centers of America. Thought I'd drop by and say hello, and how are you doing?
Doing great. Glad to see you. It's been a while since OFA and Florida.
I know. That bus without the air conditioning. It was good though. Well, it was a great tour.
You gotta have the bad to get the good, and we
absolutely.
Lotus, so.
Now, tell me a little bit about the opposite, the cold that we're going to experience at the holiday tour.
Well, quite honestly, it shall completely be worth it because Minnesota is an absolute mecca of garden centers, and they have so many fabulous stores, not just Gertens, that will of course be a major host, and the last day we're going to do nothing but Gertens and Bachmans.
Awesome.
Can you think of two bigger names in the whole country that will have at least 2 hours at each stop? They have specific educational sessions for each. Gino's going to tell everybody how they do lighting, how many SKUs they buy, why they buy it, how they set it, how they plan it, the whole gambit. And he's going to do the same thing with merchandising, and they're excellent. Bachman's is going to give us a taste and flavor of how they do floral like nobody else in the world. So that whole day, if you're going to leave early, don't, because it's just going to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And Gino's favorite little bistro is lunch. So,
Yum. You know I'm all about the food.
and he's a little bit of an Italian, you know. So
Gino, really?
yeah, Gino's a little Italian, and he has great tasting good food, and they all know him. So I totally expect them to cater just to the specialty that he does.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, if you do holiday or are thinking about holiday, the holiday tour is the place to be.
It is, and we have the dates November 14th through the 17th, and we've got Tangletown and Tonkadale and just a million different things that you will absolutely know and love, and you will never have more fun than you will on the fun bus.
Hop on the fun bus.